A couple weeks ago, I made a video testing some of the cheapest cameras that I could find on Amazon. And to be honest, for under $100, I was kind of surprised about some things, but just most of the specs and most of the marketing and terms they use with these are just so misleading. And specs that they throw out in these listings, like 4K video, 48 megapixel photos, are just not the same quality that you would expect with normal, on-brand cameras like Canon or Sony cameras that have similar specs of those. And now I'm gonna link that video down in the description if you haven't seen it. But today, I wanted to push that even further, and I bought the cheapest 8K video camera that I could find. So this right here is an 8K 64 megapixel camcorder. Now I bought this for $150, but it's actually on sale right now for $136, so I probably should have waited a couple days. But either way, for about $150, this is the most affordable 8K video camera I think that you can get, maybe besides some of the first generation, 8K smartphones. And today we're gonna put it to the test and find out what $150 8K 64 megapixel camcorder actually looks like. And so if we look into this listing a little bit more, you can see this has 18 times digital zoom. It's a YouTube vlogging camera. You can use it as a webcam. It has IR night vision, which I'm definitely going to be testing that. You get Wi-Fi, which maybe there's an app that you can connect it to your phone, a 3-inch touchscreen, with microphone, 32 gig SD card, remote control, 2 batteries. You really get all of that for $150. It just seems crazy. Like I said, I really just don't believe much of this, and that's what we're gonna be testing today, just seeing what the quality of this is actually like, really using it and comparing it to other cameras. And so I'm gonna be comparing this to my A7S III, which I'm filming this on right now. This is about a $3,000 4K camera. But what I'm also gonna be doing is comparing the video quality to a similarly priced, about $150 Sony camera, like a real branded mirrorless camera that you can pick up for about the same price as this 8K camcorder, but it only records video in 1080p. And I really think the $150 1080p camera is gonna outperform this $150 8K camera. But of course, that's what we're gonna find out right now, so let's get this thing unboxed and check it out. All right, here it is, the 8K Ultra HD camcorder from Amazon. You can see it's got some of the specs listed right there. There as well, 3-inch touchscreen, digital camera, 18 times zoom, Wi-Fi. Now I also don't see any sort of branding on this box, so I'm really not sure what the brand of this camera is even. All right, gives a couple tips for getting started. Please format the SD card, read the user manual. That stuff's actually kind of nice to see on the box right there. Looks like just a basic user manual, so we don't need that. This right here looks like the remote. It looks like you have a light button, which is pretty cool to see. Photo button, video button, playback button, power button, zoom in and out. The directional keys for going through the menus. We got a USB-C charger. Looks like the battery charger right here, so it has dual slots in it to charge both batteries at once. Then right here, microphone. That's pretty nice to see. We'll definitely be testing out the quality of this microphone. So it just kind of looks like, a knockoff of like a Rode video mic, type of microphone. I'm guessing these are the 2 batteries right here. Yep, it looks like it. Now, these aren't really standard camcorder style batteries. These are like, just regular camera batteries. So we'll see how they go in there. But it looks like all we got left is the camera itself. All right, so the camera comes in a nice soft case here. It says DV cam right there. All right, here it is. $150 8K Ultra HD camera. All right, it looks like the battery goes right in the bottom here, so we'll slot that in there in just a second. Right here, we got some ports on the back, but the camera itself, it really doesn't feel terrible. It feels a little bit better quality, I would say, than the other like $50 camcorder we checked out in the other video, but it's still pretty cheap quality plastic. I don't know, it's decent, I would say. Now also, looks like there's lights up here, and there's also this light right here, looks like. So what I'm guessing is one of these is the infrared light, and then one of them is just a regular LED light, so you can kind of use whichever one you want to use at the time. All right, let's go ahead and get a battery in this thing. Okay, didn't power up. This thing might be completely dead. I'm gonna try the other battery. There we go, that's a little better. All right, so here we go, it's set at 4K 30. Let's see if we can get up to 8K. All right, here we are. Interesting, so 4.7K 30, 5K 30, 6K 30, and then 8K 15 frames per second. So it maxes out at 8K, but only at 15 frames per second. I'll show you what that looks like, but it's gonna be so choppy, you really can't do anything with that. Like, unless you're recording a time lapse or something like a sunset or something that literally is not moving at all, any movement will look just way too choppy at 15 frames per second. So this is pretty much a 6K camera, but of course we'll test both of those out and, you know, see what the quality looks like. So then let's do video quality set to high. We'll do auto white balance, no filter. So let's flip this around. Let's try to vlog with this and see what the quality looks like. All right, here we are. So this is at full arm's length away, all the way zoomed out as we can go. And it is kind of wide, but I wish it was a little bit wider of an angle than this when it was all the way zoomed out. Like I said, this is at like full arm's length away. Now, luckily the camera barely weighs anything, so I really don't even feel anything holding out this far, but this is what it looks like and sounds like. I have pretty good lighting right now. I have, you know, my huge key light right there. I have kind of, you know, background light over there. And then of course you can kind of see what the colors look like on skin tones and things like that. This is 6K, 30 frames per second, and this is the built-in microphone. Now I'm gonna real quick plug in the external microphone so we can just see what that sounds like. All right, let's turn the gain on low, and we should be all set here. All right, here we go. So this is low gain on this external microphone that came with this camera. And I'm speaking at, you know, my normal, I don't know, slightly loud speaking voice. This is what it sounds like. Hopefully it sounds better than just the internal camera microphone. But what we're gonna do now is set this up with my Sony a7S III, as well as the Sony NEX5R right here in 1080p. And so we can kind of just compare a 1080p $150 to $200 camera to a 4K, like $3,000 camera, to a 6 or 8K, whichever one I end up using, $150 camera. All right, here we go. I got all three of these cameras set up right now. So this right here is the Sony NEX5R, which is like $150 to $200 1080p camera. And then I have a Viltrox 24mm f1.8 on there. And then right here I have my Sony a7S III, which is my, you know, standard YouTube camera. I love this thing, it's a workhorse. It's recording in 4K S-Log3 right now, and you know, the image looks awesome, it's really sharp. And this has a Viltrox 35mm f1.8 on it. And then right here, of course, I have the $150 8K camera, but it's recording in 6K 30 frames per second right now. And so I've kind of been switching back and forth between the video and audio, just so you can kind of see the differences between all three of these different cameras. Now I still want to test the night vision in the camcorder and, you know, the sharpness of the 8K versus the 6K, even though the 8K really just isn't very usable. But I am curious, which one you think looks better, the 1080p, you know, $150 to $200 Sony camera versus this $150 8K camcorder? All right, right now I got the IR night vision on and I'm down in like a pitch black basement. I literally can't even see more than 3 or 4 feet in front of me right now. So the night vision actually works pretty well, and it is actually real IR night vision. You know, it's not like faking it or anything like that. Now it looks like the light travels about 10 to 12 feet, I would say. You know, it's starting to fade off over there. If I get closer, you can see it a lot brighter. All right, 8K round 2, here we go. And I also just looked at some of the footage in 6K. This looks absolutely terrible. You know, it's hard to say I'm surprised at how bad it looks, but I'm honestly kind of surprised at how bad this looks. You know, especially thinking about that this is 3 times as much as that like $50-something camcorder I checked out a few weeks ago. And I swear that looks equal, if not better than this camera. You know, maybe if there's a specific thing you're looking for, or if you're going for this type of a look potentially, you know, like the early 2000s video camcorder style, it could definitely work for that, but this is just not at all an option for people starting out with YouTube or vlogging, or, you know, most things like that, which is kind of what these are targeted for. Unless, again, this is specifically the exact type of look and type of style you're going for. Either way, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.